Hi, I'm Siddharth Deshmukh, and welcome you all to new episode of Sportsy. Let's talk sports. Uh, this is where we talk about fun aspects of sports and the informative aspects of sports, and we talk to a lot of people who are players or administrators or the companies who are doing a great job in sports industry. Today, I'm going to call a great friend I admire and somebody who has been a forefront of Indian football and shown a tremendous grit to where she is now, a good friend, and we both share our birthdays as well, so we are scorpions together. And so with this, I just want to invite Aditi Chauhan, Indian women's professional footballer who has been a captain, goalkeeper for Indian team, and currently playing with Gokulam FC as well in IWL. And amazing thing is she's been a player with West Ham United for the ladies team. She's an MBA from Loughborough. I would like to invite Aditi and looking forward to this chat with Aditi about her journey and women in football. Hi Aditi,
Hi.
welcome on Sportsy. Let's talk sports and looking forward to talking to a friend and somebody I admire in the being a forefront of the Indian football, women's football, and a face of women's football, and working relentlessly on grassroots level, getting girls in the footballs and making the whole environment, the ecosystem that you are doing. I think it's a phenomenal job. She Kicks is what the real name is, and She Kicks is what she is known for. In fact, if you see that, there's a She Kicks logo in behind me as
Yes,
well.
it's there as well as here.
Yes. It'll be good to hear your own story
Right.
from in your own words. I think over to you.
Yeah. So basically, I started playing. So I was always interested in sports. I've played all kinds of sports, all different sports. Name any sport, and I've played it. And I think that was something that created a very strong base for me to develop as an athlete and be able to achieve what I've done over the years in football. Football, in fact, came very late in my life. I've played all the other sports, and football was the last sport that I played, and I stopped playing all the other sports and continued only on football. And this was when I was, I think, 13, 14 years old. That was my first competitive football experience, where I got selected for the under 19 Delhi state team for as a third choice goalkeeper, where I had no training, no background of football, no background of goalkeeping. Just randomly, because I was a basketball player, so my basketball coach, he suggested that, why don't you just go and give trials, um, and see. And so he, one day prior to the trials, he told me a few things of how to handle the ball. And I mean, he also didn't have much knowledge about goalkeeping, obviously, but just the basics. He gave me the basics, and that's what I worked with during the trials. So I think there were not enough goalkeepers, and they had to take three keepers. So that's why I got selected at that point. And for me, that the most exciting part was that I'm traveling with the team. The team was supposed to travel from Delhi to Pondicherry, and that was my first experience of going traveling, because I come from a very middle class family, from a military background. So we never used to, my parents were never able to send me on these school trips, very paid school trips we had. So that's for me, that was the exciting part. I'll get to travel with the team. I'll get to have fun. 3 days of train journey. It's going to be very exciting and all that. So that was because I never expected to be playing as a third choice goalkeeper. You don't expect that you'll get any minutes.
Yeah.
So that was my only motivation to go and travel and all that. But fortunately, I don't know what came into my coach's mind. He thought that he gave me a few minutes in one of the matches, and honestly, that changed the whole scenario, the whole perspective of me looking at football. Because the feeling, the it's very difficult to explain how you feel on the pitch, and the
Right.
connection that I felt with the sport as well as with this position. was something that really stuck with me. I think be a leader, you know, analyzing the game, analyzing uh, this the position of this goalkeeper was something that I was really influenced by. So
And
so that's how I stuck to
the view
football.
that you get, the view that you
Yeah,
get from the
everything about it. So it's a team sport. First of all, I love a team sport. That's why I used to play basketball. Secondly, as within a team sport also, this position, this role of a goalkeeper is so important. It's separate. It's an individual role that you play in
yeah.
the team sport. Plus the kind of responsibility, the kind of you know, the pressure that is there. So that I love that position. I love to have that responsibility. That you know, it's okay, you know, people say that it's a thankless job, but that's okay. That's a position that you've chosen. It was your choice. Not everyone can play as a goalkeeper. Everybody wants to be a striker, but that's what I keep saying, that it's everybody wants to play a striker because everybody can play. Not
Yes.
everybody can play as a goalkeeper. So
Yes.
that's my way of looking at it, and that's how my journey in football began.
Excellent. I think this is a lot of parallels to MS Dhoni, from goalkeeper to wicketkeeper,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
from your basketball player to a goalkeeper. I think it's a coach changes few things
Yeah,
when they see what.
definitely. I think I'll tell you one thing that's really stuck with me, because when I started playing football and all, I was playing all these other sports. I got a call up for the national team. So after 1 year, I didn't play in 10th class because of the studies and everything. But in 11th class, there was an open trial, and I got a call up for the national team. And I remember speaking to this coach, the basketball coach that I had, Mr. Anil Yadav from Amity School. And he just told me one thing in the whole conversation. He just told me that, you know, there are a lot of players, a lot of people, a lot of sports people who played multiple sports and they're very good or average in most of the sports. Do you want to be an average in multiple sports, or do you want to excel in one sport? And that was like the word, and the sentence was it for me. That is what I wanted in my life. I think that was something that really stuck with me, because for me, my characteristic is something that whatever I do, I want to excel in it. I want to be the best in it. So for me, it was clear that I had to make a choice. I have to choose one sport and, you know, completely focus on that sport, because I was at that age that I had to choose a sport and continue that. And I chose football.
Great. I think you instead of me asking question, you're nicely diverting me towards the next question that I already had, which is like, okay, so you played multiple sports. From there,
Yeah.
you came here. So, do you think it? What do you believe in? Is it something that you have only talent can be groomed, or otherwise the interest also can be groomed towards making a proper athlete?
I feel it's very important to have a little bit of talent. Or there can be a lot of people with, you know, a lot of interest. Everybody has interest, and I'm sure, like, even people in technology field, you are in fact one of an example that you also have an interest. But maybe it wasn't enough to take you to the next
Yes.
level, to become a
Correct.
pro, to become a top athlete. So I think talent is really, really important. There are few things that I feel. So that is what in my journey I realized when I went to the national team camp. I realized that I have the talent. That was the moment. I don't know how I became so mature at that age, but I realized that I had the talent in this field to excel as a goalkeeper if I
Mhm.
continue to put in the effort, because there were about 8 or 9 other goalkeepers for the trial. And and I knew that if I continue working hard and putting in the work, I can become the first choice goalkeeper. So for me, that was a clear motive and clear intention, that I had to be the best. I had to be
Mhm.
the first choice goalkeeper, and I realized that I had the talent. So, and I was willing to work hard. I enjoyed working hard, so that was never an issue.
Great. So I think again it's like you have group of talented people, and
Yeah.
what stands out is your dedication,
Yes.
your willingness, and you give it all kind of thing.
Your
And I think
mentality, I think your
exactly it's all.
mentality, your attitude is what makes what is the differentiating factor. Because in this journey, and especially in sports, for a pro sport athlete, it's very important that you have a very, very strong mentality, especially in India, because you go through I mean, not just in India, but you, as a personal, in your personal life also, you go through so many ups and downs. Even on your professional front, you have some great years in your career. You don't have some great years in your career. So to have that strong mentality, have that right people around you to guide you through that phase is very, very important.
Okay, so I think now Aditi as an athlete, Aditi is multiple sports to what it is, and a person who is very headstrong and knows what she wants and how she
Yeah,
wants to drive. It's like want to be in the control of the life the way a goalkeeper is, want to control the whole game.
yeah.
So how do you connect sports with your life, and how do you feel people should look at sports to have impact on their life?
I think, you know, in from my own experience, I can say that sports has played such an important role in shaping my personality. You know, like you said, to have a very strong mentality, have a strong head towards something that's not something that I was born with. It's developed over the years. Yes, you have certain characteristics, but sports, I think sports and this position as a goalkeeper, it demands you to be that way. It demands you to be a leader. It demands you to get the best out of the people around you, from the team around you. So naturally it gets inside you. It becomes like your characteristic. So I think sports is really, really important. Of course, a team sport then plays, we all know the importance of a team sport. You get to work as a team, work together, get, you know, deal with situations, deal with people in a way to understand them, have empathy, sympathize with them, and then get the best out of it, because every individual is different. You don't know what their background is. You have to understand them, their thinking, how they approach a certain situation, and then you know, adjust the way you're dealing with them to get the best out of it. So for me to develop as a leader, I think sports has played such a big role for me to develop all these characteristics both on and off the pitch. And I think that is the reason why I'm able to use these things that I've learned uh, off the pitch in my work, with dealing with, you know, interacting with people, understanding their perspective. I think it's very, very important, and I give the whole credit to the experiences that I've had through
Yeah.
sports. Like I said, I mean, you know that injury was a very, very big part of when my attitude, when my way of looking at things changed. That was a very, I mean, low patch of my career, or for my personal life also, it was very difficult because um, obviously you have certain ambitions
Yes.
that I had when I was playing for West Ham back then, and the injury came all of a sudden, and the whole plan sort of jeopardized. So so then you then learn to adapt, learn to accept the situation, and move on. What's the next step? Obviously, not everything goes as per your plan, as per your you know, what you've thought, and that's what you learn then, how to adapt yourself, how to adjust, and keep moving forward.
When you see those obstacles, and I will come to the being a girl in sports field, I'll come to that later, but how do you think for an athlete, maybe male, female, anybody,
Yeah,
how important it is
you
to
know, a
have a
lot of yeah.
no,
So
hmm,
I really don't understand this. I mean, for me, I don't understand what the difference with the boy and girl is,
correct,
because I personally, maybe some people have, but I personally haven't faced that kind of issue. Every athlete, may be it a male or female, have their own issues, have their own
correct,
problems.
exactly, I was coming to
Maybe
that,
it's
yeah.
different for, obviously, the kind of issues, the kind of obstacles that they face is probably different. But at the end of the day, what it requires to overcome these obstacles is your mentality, the way you perceive the situation,
Correct,
and how dedicated you are to what you want to achieve. Because
correct.
no matter what path you choose, there are always going to be issues, there are always going to be problems, and I don't think it comes to a male or female athlete. It's all up to you, and
Yes.
how passionate you are to achieve your dreams.
Correct. Very, very well put through. So that is what I was exactly. My
Yeah.
point was like I've never seen a difference between
Yeah, I've
both
been
the things.
asked
Every
this question a lot of times, and I've never been able to understand what, what are they expecting me to say? Because I don't,
Exactly, exactly.
because I've never, whenever I've faced an issue, I've never sat back and thought maybe it's happening because I'm a girl. Yes, there are certain obstacles, there are certain issues that, because it's a male, ultimately it is a male dominated industry,
Yes,
sports industry, because I'm also working in this industry. But that's something that you don't have any control over, so you can't keep giving this excuse. It's
yes,
again up to you. How do you want to, find the right people in this industry who can help you,
correct.
uh, and find a solution. There's no point of sitting and just dwelling on the problems. There, you have
Yeah.
to find a solution in whatever the situation is.
So, how important is Plan B for you?
It's very important. I think for every athlete, it's very important to have a plan B, because especially in a sport like football, because it's a contact sport, physically demanding, mentally demanding as well. So you don't. Not everybody is built to handle that kind of pressure and handle that kind of responsibility that comes with you playing for the country or playing for at a pro level. Even your body, the physical part is also something that not everybody is capable or wants to put in the effort
Yes,
to maintain themselves at that standard. So there are a lot of issues, but there are a lot of people who still have that passion, have that interest for the sport. So it's very important to find another way, a plan B, to use that passion, to use that interest, and contribute and stay in touch with the sport that you love, stay in touch with and contribute to the industry, because Indian sports industry needs that more of people who are
yes.
passionate, genuinely passionate about it and want to make a difference. And there's a lot of opportunity, there's a lot of scope in that. That's the reason why I chose to study sports management, to have, because I knew that this is what I'm good at, and I should just do what I'm good at, I'm passionate about.
And to go core to your profile, if you want to do something, you have to do it for the best. And you did your sportsman MBA from Lebra, which is
Yes.
one of the best universities in the world to do your MBA sports management, right? So, how was your experience as a player and a student at one go?
It was amazing. I think that Loughborough experience, the whole experience of the England experience, changed, sort of gave a new direction to my journey. Because that was the time I was already playing for the senior team. I was playing as the first choice goalkeeper, but it was not covered enough in the media. Women's football was not covered enough in the media. But I felt that the West Ham journey that I had there brought a lot of attention from the media, both from Indian as well as in the UK. And apart from that, obviously the studies part, Loughborough being the best sports university. There's a
Yes.
reason why it's named and it's been voted the best sports university for many years now. The campus life is amazing. I obviously wanted to experience the campus life there. That was amazing. The faculty was so supportive, and I felt that, in fact, the reason why I could play the second season with West Ham was also because they understood um, the kind of attention, the kind of change that I'm making in India through playing for West Ham. So they were supportive of the idea, and obviously I also pitched in an idea of working for the university in the London campus, so I could, and so they sponsored the work visa, and I could actually do that. So the whole London experience was something, the England experience was something that is very, very close to my heart, and um, like I said, it just gave a new direction to my life.
Right. So, other than Indian football and the Gokulam and the team that you have played for, which is your favorite team?
The national team. But if
Beyond national, beyond
Gokulam,
national, beyond national.
Gokulam,
In,
no doubt, is is fresh. The memory is fresh. I won the
yes,
championship with them. The first IWL I've won with them, and the kind of support that we've got. You've seen the
yeah,
kind of
I've seen the videos and pictures,
celebration
and it's
that
very
we did,
celebration.
that they arranged for us. That is something that is beyond our expectation. You can't. I mean, I never even thought in my dream that something like this will happen in my career while I'm playing, um, especially from an I League club. and in Kerala, I mean, that it's something that is beyond your dream. So that's why I can't thank them enough for giving us those memories. And I really feel that it must and it should have inspired or motivated more ISL or I League clubs to put up a team next time. And I don't know how much this coronavirus is going to affect the budget and everything, but I really hope that in the coming years there are more teams from the ISL and I League clubs.
I think that will be the thing, and we all were looking forward to the FIFA Under 17 Women's World Cup in
Yeah.
India,
Yes.
and that could have given a good platform which we were looking for. Unfortunately, it's been pushed out, so
Yes.
we'll see what
I think
next.
it will have a good impact, because I was speaking to, in one of these webinars, I was speaking to the FIFA official who's in charge of women's football and India's part of it. And she was saying that they have a good legacy plan for after the Under 17 World Cup to engage all these small clubs, academies who are working towards women's football, and of course the big clubs as well.
Yeah, and any international club that you follow, love, or
I'm not like a hardcore supporter of any club, but I like Barcelona, and in England I support Manchester City, but I'm not like a hardcore supporter of any club.
okay.
I enjoy watching football. A good game of football is what I enjoy.
Okay, so and who is your idol? Like you really like to imitate, follow, or whatever. It's like
initially when I started as a goalkeeper, Hope Solo was my inspiration, and I've been lucky enough to meet her. And apart from football, obviously Manuel Neuer is also the goalkeeper that I've looked up to. But and apart from the football, Rafael Nadal is someone who I really admire. I love I love him for everything, right from his attitude to the capacity to work hard, to understand that he might not be the best skilled player, but he's never given up on the work, the kind of the day in day out he's been performing, in fact achieving so much in spite of so many injuries that he's gone through in his career. So he is someone who I really look up to.
And do you also have your own rituals, like the Rafa has it, like doing all these things?
I have a few, but I'm not very crazy about them. There are some few things that I like to do, like stepping into the ground with a ride, and then as soon as we step in, I take a jump, a leap up in the air, just to get myself in that zone.
Leap of faith as well.
Yeah. So I know Rafael does a lot, but I'm not as crazy as him. But yes, there is mental preparation plays a very, very important role.
Okay. So now, from Aditi as a player, athlete, and who is playing for India, also captain India, then Gokulam, really great season that you had, and we're looking forward to more, the West Ham side. Now I want to shift the little focus towards Aditi, who is as a brand ambassador for women and peace and lifestyle. It's with UNICEF, right? Yeah. So UNESCO, sorry, UNESCO as a brand ambassador with UNESCO about the activities. So I want to shift the little focus from that to here, and want to understand what is Aditi going to be post retirement, whenever it is. It has long time away, but still.
It might not be that long also.
Yeah, I want you to play till at least 50, 60. So
if the body supports.
Yeah.
Why not?
But what is Aditi going to be?
Post retirement, I just want to see, women's football is something that is really close to my heart. It's something that I really want. I know there's a lot of potential, and I would love to contribute in every way that I can. So I think post retirement, you will see me and I see there's a huge scope in the coming years with this Under 17 World Cup, and the kind of people, and slowly the perspective of people is changing, both in corporate as well as in the society amongst the parents. So I see there's a huge potential in women's football. So I think post-retirement, I'm going to get full on into women's football, and you'll see me everywhere, wherever there's women's football going on. I might be there everywhere.
Yeah, and I don't think we have any doubts about that, knowing you being a face of women's football in India. There
Yeah.
other than your teammates as well, but I think you have done a really good beyond playing about the she kicks. So I just want to come to
Yeah.
the next part of what we're talking is like she kicks.
Yeah.
When you started She Kicks, it was about by the girls for the girls kind of
Yes.
thing, right? It's a whole ecosystem that you want to create, the
Yeah.
coaches and the mentors and the staff, supporting staff and the players. Everything is about the girls, and I think it's a good focus approach that you're doing. But I want to take a step back and understand, as you yourself, again, you said that what's the big deal about being a girl or a boy, and all this perfectly fine.
Right.
But
Yeah.
unfortunately, we live in a society where not everybody is thinking like that.
Right.
So, what do you think a typical girl athlete faces those challenges? What are the typical challenges that a girl athlete faces? And
So
again, it may. I know being an athlete myself,
yeah.
boys also face different
Yeah.
challenges. But I just want to, from your
Yeah.
perspective, what is that?
So, fortunately, I didn't face a challenge where from my parents, I didn't face any restrictions about like initially. Yes, there were little apprehensions that it was because it was a contact sport, it's a physical sport. So my dad was like very concerned about her about his daughter that why do you want to play a contact sport, play an individual sport and all that. But from over the years, the kind of reputation that I've created or kind of achievement that I've done, a lot of young girls have started looking up to me, and
Yes.
I regularly receive a lot of messages saying that I'm very passionate about football. I want to continue this, but my parents don't support me. My parents don't want me to play football, so that's a very very common issue that I keep hearing about, and that is the reason why I feel that it's so important for the parents to understand, because in my career also I give the full credit of whatever I've achieved to my parents, because the way they've supported me through thick and thin is something that I'll forever be grateful for. So that is one of the issues that I want to address, that I want to highlight, that we need to change the perspective, we need to change this mentality of the parents, that sports खेल के क्या होगा, लड़की है, football क्यों खेलना है, इतने धूप में क्यों खेलना है. So all of these questions, which is very very common, धूप में, even I faced a lot of these issues कि
Yeah.
धूप में खेलेगी काली हो जाएगी, why do you play, फिर लड़कों के साथ खेलती रहती है दिन भर, तो क्यों नहीं खेलो यार, क्यों, क्या हो जाएगा, गोरा के क्या होगा. That was my way of thinking. I don't know. Yeah, so that is something that I want.
And it worked.
Yeah,
So it is not wrong.
fortunately.
It is not wrong. It is not a
Yeah,
wrong thinking. It has worked. It is proven. So you can say this
yeah.
is the study which is proven case study now.
There are different ways of looking at things, and
Yeah.
I choose to, that's my way of thinking, that कि क्या होगा, what's the big deal about it.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that I really want, and I'm working towards changing that perspective. That's why, as part of She Kicks, we conduct a lot of these workshops and seminars where we welcome the parents along with the
Right.
daughters to address this issue, show them the career path, show them what the pathway is for a girl to keep developing, keep achieving more, to make their way to the national team or to these IWL clubs.
Correct.
So that's what we're trying to do, and I feel that we need more of that, and on a bigger scale, on a bigger in a bigger way, and that is the reason why I was looking forward to the Under 17 World Cup, because
Right.
the kind of media attention that it will bring, it will reach a lot of parents, it will reach to the ground, for them to understand and see that that you want your daughter to be playing there, you want your daughters to be highlighted by the media, to be celebrated by the media, by the people around. So that is why I think Under 17 World Cup is going to be really really important.
Yeah, I think you answered the same question. You answered one of my follow-up question, which was here. It was about what can parents do or what can society do in the whole thing. It is about coming forward, believing in what can be done, and there. It's not only about the heroes. I think we need more heroes like you, and to make it happen. And I think the message has to be conveyed. How do you think the UNESCO platform can be used for this?
I
or
think
it's yeah,
so. UNESCO, they have a lot of SDGs, and
yes,
one of the SDGs that I am associated with is empowering women. And the medium of empowering women is sports, is football.
correct.
Where that is where She Kicks come into play. So I think this is the way where UNESCO being such a big brand name can in different ways, different activities at the ground level interact with these parents, interact with the stakeholders, the school officials, the school. A lot of these schools also have the similar sort of approach towards girls playing football, so which is changing over the years, which is changed dramatically since I was in school and I
Right.
started playing. So I think they were moving in the right direction. It is a slow process because such a big population, a lot of illiteracy also. So it will take a lot of time. But I think we are heading in the right direction. Things are changing, and I'm very very confident that in the coming years we'll have a completely different different approach and view of women's football.
I think is going to be required. The Indian football itself is growing now. So I
Yes.
think with that, the moment the women football also grows, I think it's going to be uh, out of all the SDGs, the inequality and gender equality, women empowerment, these are very good important things. And
Yeah.
sports is something that I personally believe is sports builds character, and the nation needs to have a character. I
Yes.
think, and sports will play that role. And women is always been considered to be
Yes.
a more stronger personality
Yeah.
than men.
No,
So I think that
absolutely.
is
And it's not just about becoming a pro athlete, but like I said initially, the kind of characteristics, the kind of lessons that you learn on the pitch through sports is something that you can use in any field that you choose to.
so. My last question to you, Aditi, is as I was saying that we need heroes. We need to see more and more icons
Right.
or idols that society can look up to. And so you are one of them, and probably one of the very prominent in the sitting in the league of say Mary Kom or Hima Das, PV Sindhu, and across multiple sports that we have those. Uh, and the girls look up to you. So what is your message to the girls and the parents? I just want to have that last question or your thoughts about how do you want to give that one message there.
For the parents, my only request is to support their kids, because I know from my own experience that is the only thing that I wanted from my parents, because ultimately the hard work, the decisions are mine, and I will have to face the consequences of whatever happens. But what I expect from my parents is their support, for them to be there for me in whatever I decide. Obviously, for them to guide me in whatever capacity they can, but they can't. But not forcing their decisions on the kids.
Right.
I think it's very important to leave that sort of space for the kids to make that error, to take their own decisions, but be there for them when they need you. So that is the only request that I can make for the parents. And for the kids, for the girls, I will just say that continue putting in the effort. I know it's a long process. It's a very difficult and challenging process, but if you truly believe in yourself, in your dreams, keep focus on your on what you want to achieve, dedicate yourself towards it, and obviously work very very hard, because there's no substitute to hard work.
Excellent, excellent, Aditi. I think it was a great session. It was
Oh,
listening to
sorry, I'll
you.
just add one more thing, that it's
Okay,
very, very important to also manage your studies along with. That plays a very, very important role both on and off the pitch, and from my own experience.
I think yeah, with this line, you also made the parents happy. So with that, Aditi, I think really great talking to you like always, and
Yeah.
it's a wonderful session hearing about who Aditi is, what made Aditi from multiple sports to
Yeah.
one particular sport, goalkeeper, captain, academic excellence,
Yes.
to an entrepreneur working towards a particular cause and going to looking forward to inspire more and more girls and overall society, the community, the change of mindset that can come through you. I think it's going to be phenomenal, and I'm a very big supporter of what you do. Not only because I like to be associated with women's sports or girls in sports, because that's what the whole empowerment is. Yes, thank you, and wish you all the best, and
Thank you.
we'll,
Thanks.
we'll, we'll talk soon.
Thank you.